Hey, this is the Ogre from MattOgre.com. Welcome to another episode of Slidelock Radio. And I'm going to talk today about interesting guns. Now, an old saying in the firearms community goes, only accurate guns are interesting. Now, I used to disagree with that sentiment because, there's a lot of great guns out there that would not be considered too terribly accurate, such as the FN-FAL, the ubiquitous AK-47, and guns of that ilk, guns of that nature. Some hunting guns, such as a good old-fashioned 30-30. The Marlin guide gun and 4570. There's a whole bunch of guns out there that people say are less accurate, and that, of course, by definition of the saying, they would not be interesting. Well, here's the thing, though. I've kind of come to the point where I'm kind of agreeing with that sentiment that only accurate guns are interesting. Especially in handguns. I pretty much shot the rifling out of my Beretta 92 FS, one that I got from my brother, who just couldn't shoot that gun very well. He got it from Mike Kupari, author of Dead 6 and some other books coming out. Great gun. Mike got it from a fellow that got it from a police trade-in. This was an old law enforcement gun. So who knows how many rounds went through that gun, but well, I shot the rifling out of it. It was shooting great, and then all of a sudden the accuracy just really started to diminish. And I was thinking, wow, is this me, or is it the gun, or is it the ammo? So I tried different brands of ammo, got new glasses, I replaced the locking block in the Beretta, and the accuracy just continued to deteriorate. And, well, turns out that it was it was the rifling in the barrel. So what I did was talk to some friends of mine who shall go unnamed, and I got me a new barrel, and all of a sudden that gun is punching one-hole groups. It's fantastic. The accuracy is there. Let me tell you, that gun has become very interesting to me now, because it is more accurate. My 1911 is a very accurate gun for a 1911, for a Springfield GI. That gun shoots exceptionally well, especially with that new trigger that I put into it. With the new trigger, I got the new barrel. These guns are now very, very interesting to me, and I enjoy shooting them. Here's the thing. I've got more confidence that I can stop a threat with these guns, because I know that not only am I going to make the shot, but I'm going to be able to place the shot. I'll be able to hit that target where and when I want to hit it with those guns. That makes those guns very interesting, and I enjoy shooting them more. Other guns, such as, say, the Glock 23. Well, let's talk about that. Let's talk about that. There's a lot of guns out there that have accuracy that is good enough for their intended purposes. And for that reason, they are referred to as accurate guns, because they are accurate enough. Well, really, that accuracy comes down to, what you find acceptable. I want to shoot as absolutely as accurate and consistently as possible. That's what I look for. That, to me, is not an achievement, but the goal. That is the constant effort the constant search, the quest, you could say. It's the quest. Accuracy is a quest, not a destination. So, you've got these guns out there that are good enough for their intended purposes. You know, you can take a Glock, whatever model it is, and whatever caliber you want, and you know, empty that magazine as fast as you can, and keeping all those rounds, you know, on that target plate. That's fine. I want all those rounds in one hole, or as close to one hole as possible. And here's my theory, and this theory is mirrored by other people. If at your best you're shooting, you know, all over the board, well, how well are you going to be shooting when you start getting stressed? Because as the stress increases, the time, that clock, the tyranny of the buzzer, of the timer, as that stress goes up, your accuracy goes down. That's just human nature. So I would rather start that decline in accuracy, that falling with style. I would rather start that decline from as high as point as possible. I want to be as accurate as possible. And then when I get stressed, and I've seen it before, that my stress shots are more accurate than a lot of guys, we'll call it slow fire shots. And I'm not bragging. I'm just saying, you know, this is because I really work for that. I might not be the fastest coming out of the holster, blinding fast and ripping through a whole magazine, and you know, 1.82. You know, I'm not into that. I want to make the accurate shot, because only hits count, and only accurate hits really count. It's all about the shot placement to stop a threat in a defensive shooting. So what's going to happen is, if I'm not going for that accuracy, I could miss wildly fast and still not affect my target to stop the threat. Or I can make ineffective hits on the target, which, it would count in an IDPA match, because if you break the line, the shot counts. Well, for me personally, that's not good enough, and I'm not accepting that performance for myself. So accuracy is the key. Now, going back to that Glock, the Glock 23 is a remarkably accurate gun for what it is, for a service-grade auto. For that mid-sized gun, it's a very accurate gun for what it is. It's just not accurate enough for me. I want more. I want better. And 1911 does that for me. Beretta, the Beretta 92 does that for me. The SIGs, the SIG 22X series, so your 229, 228, 227s, 220s, the 220 compacts. These are actually remarkable guns. Oh my gosh, that girl is gorgeous. Wow, check her out. Oof. Gotta love summertime in the South, or well, springtime. It's springtime, but man, it's a nice day out. Anyway, back to what I was talking about. Only accurate guns are interesting. I'm believing that again. I hold to that motto, and I believe in that. Now, before anybody gets butthurt, what is accurate? That's a definition that you give. I can't give you that definition, because what is accurate enough for me, or not accurate enough for me, might be plenty accurate for you in your purpose. So, it's all about the individual again. And see, here's the great thing about the gun industry. We're in the golden age of the gun industry. Never in the history of the world has there been so many options, so many variables, so many flavors, that you can pick a gun off the shelf with off-the-shelf upgrades, simple bolt-ons, but changing grips or putting different sights on it. I mean, there's so many variables out there that you can get a gun that totally fits you, your personality, your character, and fits with what you're doing. Now, if you got a gun that fits you and you can run that gun efficiently, quickly, and make the hits that you're confident in, that's the key right there. And I mentioned that word before, confidence. If you're confident in this gun and you know that you can hit your target with accuracy that is acceptable to you, that's awesome. Then that's an accurate gun, and that gun is accurate for you, and thus it is an interesting gun for you. But here's the thing, though: accuracy should be something that you are never satisfied with. You need to always push yourself to get that group a little smaller, because when the chips are down, when you got a threat situation and your heart is pounding in your chest, your adrenaline is coursing through your veins, maybe somebody's shooting at you, or maybe you've got some sick individual that just needs to be put down because he's about to harm somebody you love, or maybe it's a competition and you've got that buzzer just went off and you start shooting a rack of plates and you miss one. When those stresses go through you, your accuracy is going to start to decline. Now, there's no magic trick about shooting well. There's no shortcut to it. There's no ninja thing about it. It comes down to the basic fundamentals of firearms marksmanship, be it with a rifle or a handgun or a shotgun. Those basic fundamentals, those core principles. The difference between a champion shooter and those who wish they were champion shooters is that they have mastered those basic fundamentals, and they can do it even under stress. So what we need to do is we need to concentrate on those basic fundamentals and never be satisfied with what you've done. Always look for the better. Always look for a way to improve. Never accept what you've done as being your best, because you can always be better. That balance of speed and accuracy, that's a good drill for combative shooting. But you still have to be able to be accurate first. So if you got a gun that's perfectly reliable, that's great. But if you can't hit nothing with it, it does you no good. A lot of guys say that the first and foremost consideration for self-defense is reliability. But without accuracy, reliability is useless. Okay, well, maybe not useless, but you get what I'm saying. You've got to have that accuracy. Because shot placement, you can't miss fast enough to win, and shot placement is the key. Your whiz-bang new bullet is all fine and dandy, but that bullet is not going to be able to do its job unless you can deliver it where it needs to go to do its work. It's got to vector through vital organs and have the penetration that it needs to do its job. Well, that's my thoughts for the day. Give me your feedback. If you disagree with me, let's have a reasonable discussion, not one based on emotions, but tell me why you think I'm wrong. Like this video if you want to see more like it. If you have any suggestions for future topics, hit me. Let me know.